Hi, are you ready for a Vinyasa class today? So we're going to go through a series of moves. Vinyasa Yoga is we're going to move and incorporate different movements and flow through this Vinyasa class together. So the way I usually start my classes, I usually start with an intention of some sort. I'm going to let you decide what you want for your intention today. I know at this particular time, the country's going through some challenging times, and so maybe it's how to be the best version of yourself during all of this. Whatever your intention is, we start out with that. As we get settled into the mat, there's usually a theme or an intention that runs through the class. So today I'm just going to leave that up to you. That was just a suggestion. Maybe again, how to be the best version of yourself for this in this challenging time. We're going to go about 45 minutes, maybe slightly over. It's about my aim, my goal. So let's just start by settling in, breathing, not changing anything, just noticing the breath. Noticing the breath as it flows in and noticing as it flows out. Settling in, maybe closing the eyes if that's appropriate for you. And just settling into the space. Shoulders back and down. Feeling the areas that are making contact with the mat, maybe the sides of the feet, the sits bones. Feeling the breath again as it enters your body, enters through the nose. What's the temperature of that air? And noticing the temperature as it leaves. Feeling the clothes on your body. How are they feeling? The texture of the material against your skin. And just really being in this space now. Start out with a few shoulder stretches, get the neck a little bit loosened up, and then I start out my yoga classes with sun salutes. I feel that it's a good way to warm up the body before we do any major stretching. I feel that it gets the body moving with the breath, and so I like to start out with sun salutes. So we'll be doing a variety of those today, but for right now, take the shoulders up to the ears. And back down and around again. One more time, up to the ears. Pause and back down. Take the left ear to the left shoulder. Take that left hand over to the right temple and maybe just guide the head a little bit lower while that right arm floats out to the side. And back to center. Other side. Right ear to right shoulder. Take that right hand to the left temple. Apply just a slight bit of pressure on that head. And stretch the left arm out to the side. Good, and release all that. Inhale the arms up. Gaze up. And let the fingertips come down gently with the exhale. All right, inhale those arms up. And exhale, come forward onto all fours. We'll begin with a few cat-cows before we get into sun salute. So from wherever you are, if you're ready to inhale, a little sway in the back, broaden the chest, inhale, tip the tailbone up. Exhale, draw the tummy into the spine. Cat. Back and forth several times with your breath at your pace. And as always, with any yoga class, listen to your body. If you have props that you're used to using and you want to use them, go ahead. Otherwise, yoga is so wonderful because you can do it anywhere without any props. One more in each direction. Good, come to a neutral spine. Tuck those toes, send the hips up and back. Press the mat back and away. Settle into this down dog here anyway, like maybe pedaling the feet, maybe rising up to the balls of the feet, maybe taking the heels back toward the mat and then wagging that tail as if you had a puppy and had a tail to wag that tail from side to side. And then still the down dog. Bending the knees, looking forward, spider fingers, and walk those hands up till they're those feet up till they're between the hands. Your first forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees slightly, round the spine, chin to the chest, cuddle on up one vertebra at a time. Inhale overhead, and exhale, hands down through heart center. Mountain pose. Pause here a moment in this first mountain pose to feel the feet. Rock gently back and forth to feel that center in there again. It's a great place to close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Take the shoulders down and back and just breathe into the space of the feeling of rooting to rise. Those feet are rooting into the ground and the body is nice and strong, rising up away from Mother Nature, away from the earth. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down through the center, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees around the spine, come on up. Reach, gaze up, and exhale, hands down through heart center, mountain pose. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Hold plank. And exhale, press the mat back and away, taking those hips high, down dog. Bend the knees, come up on the balls of the feet, step or hop. Front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back again to plank. Send the hips up and back, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop, front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back with that right foot, low lunge. Right knee, right shin to the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms high, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck that back toe, spring forward, back to forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step the left foot back, low lunge. Right into Anjaneyasana, placing that knee and the shin on the mat. Inhale up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, tuck that back toe, come back into forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees around the spine, come on up, inhale. And exhale, mountain pose. Inhale up, exhale down through the center. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, right foot. Right into Anjaneyasana again. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck toes. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back, low lunge into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees around the spine, come on up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Mountain pose. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step both feet back to plank. Come down to the tummy. Hands come to the back, clasp both hands together. Raise the chest off the mat and maybe the legs. Shalabhasana. Exhale, hands by the chest. Tuck the toes. Press up to plank and back to down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop. Front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees around the spine, come on up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down through heart center. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. And all the way down to the tummy. Again, this time, let's just bring the arms back, not clasp the hands. No wrinkles in the neck. Hands back to chest, tuck those toes, come on up to plank, and exhale back to down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop, front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees around the spine, come on up. Hands down through heart center. One more time, we're going to do a modified vinyasa so that we can inhale up, exhale, forward fold, so that we can warm up for full vinyasas. Should we choose to go there or use these modified ones. Exhale, halfway, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Put those hands, step back to plank. Warm up, knees to the mat. Thighs, hips, tummy, chest. Little baby cobra. This is a fine vinyasa. As we get to that point, tuck the toes, up to plank, send the hips up and back, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop. Front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees around the spine, come on up. Hands down through heart center, Tadasana or mountain pose. Inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, back to plank. And exhale, back to down dog. So we're going to come forward. From down dog, we'll come forward to another vinyasa warm-up. Forward, those knees come down to the mat, thighs, hips, tummy and chest. Little baby cobra. Exhale, back to the mat. Tuck those toes, rise up to plank, and send the hips up and back. Down dog. Then bring the knees to the mat either together or wide, stretch back, child's pose. So that was some variations of sun salutes that we can do to warm up the body. As I said, those vinyasa warm-ups will come in handy when we get to the vinyasa part. If you feel like you want to do the chaturanga push-up into up dog, down dog for the vinyasa, do that. If not, to do the variation, or if you just want to go into down dog, that's fine too. Never pressure to do any of the vinyasas or any of the moves for that matter. Always listen to your body. So let's come hip down to the mat, come over on the back for some beginning stretches. We're going to lower ourselves gently to the mat, bring the knees into the chest, hug the knees, widen the knees out now, leaving those big toes together, reach through for the outsides of the feet. Maybe stay here or extend those feet long. Rock slightly back and forth if you'd like for happy baby. Massage the spine. Toes back together, knees together, legs straight up. I'm gonna walk my hands kind of up toward the backs of my ankles. Bring my head and shoulders up off the mat and just stretching here. Hugging the knees into the chest, letting that left leg go long. Right leg, same thing, but getting maybe a little deeper stretch. Able to get my face a little closer to this knee. And other side, hug the left knee in, let the right leg go long, extend that left leg, head and shoulder off the mat, face toward that knee. And bring both knees into the chest, hug the knees, flatten the lower back out on the mat, flatten the shoulders out on the mat. I'm going to take the left foot flat on the mat, the right ankle over the left for figure 4 stretch. And if you'd like to stay here, that's great. If you'd like to bring those knees closer to the chest and even maybe reach through, grasping the underneath side of that left knee, bringing both knees in closer to the chest. And just a slight adjustment to this, taking that right foot over toward the left just a little bit, maybe 6 inches. Do you feel where that shifts and changes things back here? Just play around with that. Back to center, both feet on the mat, other side. Figure 4 stretch. And again, maybe taking that left foot over toward the right just a little bit, shifting everything over just about maybe 4, 5, 6 inches. Feeling how that might change things. And back to center, hug the knees into the chest. Let the legs go long, arms overhead, full body stretch. If this bothers the shoulders in any way, goal post those arms. Otherwise, full body stretch. And bring the knees back into the chest. Now take the arms out to the side. Take those knees to where they're right, coming right straight up from the hips. And let's just tap one toe, tap the other, tap, tap. And the key here is to keep that lower back pressed in, that mid and lower back pressed into the floor. If you let it arch up, which it sometimes wants to do because the core maybe isn't strong enough, you're putting excess pressure on the back. This is a core strengthener, but in order to work the core, we need to keep the back pressed into the floor. One toe and then the other. Nice and slow, slow toe taps. One more each side. Good. Hug the knees in. We're going to get a little roll, and I want us to meet each other in all fours. I'm going to roll up, take my legs back, meeting in all fours. Shift back here till I'm more in the center of my mat. All right, all fours. Good. Tuck those toes. We'll come into our down dog. This should even feel different, possibly, than the first couple ones that we've done. We'll walk those hands back to the feet. All right, in that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees around the spine. Come on up. Inhale up. And exhale, hands down to mountain pose. One more stretch before we get started in our flow. And take the feet just slightly toes turned out. Bring the hands in, and then we're going to just slowly come down into a malasana or yogi squat. So slowly, slowly, you may have to adjust the feet as you get down. Slowly, slowly coming down to malasana. Yogi squat. I'd like us to walk the hands out too. So reach those fingertips forward. I want to shift and turn my heels in just a little bit more. Make any adjustments your body needs, always. And come back. All right, come forward to all fours now. I'm going to turn around this side because the first side we're going to be opening up. I'm going to be opening up toward you with no mirror behind me. So I'm going to be opening up so that my back isn't to you, or as little as possible. All right, one more cat-cow. And back to neutral spine. Tuck those toes. Come on to back to down dog. Inhaling that right leg high, opening the hip. Squaring up the hips, stepping forward. Coming up into that high lunge. And we're going to straighten this front leg as we sweep the arms back. Coming back to high lunge. A few more times like this, sweeping back. Inhale up once more, sweeping back. Inhale up. Good. And come on down to the mat. I want both hands on the inside of that right foot. Transfer to the foot, on the back foot, the left foot, the heel to the mat, and come into a side angle. Cartwheeling the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Come down onto those forearms. Hold plank. And then let the belly come down to the mat. Come into Sphinx pose. Awesome. Bring the hands back by the chest now. Cobra, any amount. So we may stop here. We may come a little higher. We may come to where our elbows are straighter but not locked out. Cobra. Chest back to the mat. Tuck those toes. Meet me in down dog. Settle into down dog here, maybe a few pedals with the feet. Coming forward again to plank all the way down to the tummy. Cobra again. Anyway, any amount. And down to the mat. Taking Shavasana. Arms out front. Hands by the chest. Tuck those toes. Down dog. All right. Tucking, coming up to the balls of those feet. Stepping or hopping in front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Halfway lift. Exhale. Forward fold. Sweeping up into chair. So with chair, we have a neutral spine. The pelvis isn't tucked under, neither is it sticking out. We have a nice neutral spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. And send the hips up and back. Down dog. Inhale that right leg high. Exhale, take it through warrior one. Plant the front foot, spin that back heel to the mat. Inhale up. Warrior one. Hands behind, clasp behind the back. Open that chest. And on the exhale, folding forward from that hip crease. Humble. Inhale back to warrior one and open. Warrior two. Our first warrior two of this flow. Nice strong warrior. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Flow through your first vinyasa. If you'd like to chaturanga push-up, inhale into up dog. Roll over the toes back to down dog, or do your modified version, or just go to down dog. You can also get creative in how you get back to down dog. Anyway. Exhale, step and float forward. So either take some steps or hop forward. Or forward fold, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Come into figure four, taking the right leg over the left leg into figure four. And I have to have a little disclaimer here. This is hard for me to balance because I have, and maybe you do too at home, carpet underneath the mat. Transferring those peace fingers to that big toe. Take the leg out. And right to tree. Again, really tough for me to balance here on this carpet. I wish the floor was not as springy, it was a little more solid. Knee up. Take that foot back to high lunge. Good. And open up, other side, warrior two. Let's straighten this front leg out. Reaching forward, right hips back, triangle pose. So it's like here your body were between two panes of glass. And cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step back to plank. And flow through your vinyasa. Your way, or again, just go back to down dog. Rolling over the toes. Pressing the mat back and away. Down dog. Inhaling that right leg high. Exhale, take it through, coming up into your high lunge. Bring hands to heart center. We're going to use the power of this leg to come forward, up to the very tip toes of that left toe, and then coming up into our warrior three. Cartwheel the hands open, warrior two. Coming forward now, you can take a side angle. That's an option. Or coming all the way forward to a half moon. You choose. Great place for a block if you have it. Warrior two. And cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Hold plank. Knees to the mat. Stretch back. Child's pose. Release a nice big breath. Settle back into child's pose. We're still active. Fingertips are still reaching forward, lengthening through the side bodies. And coming up to all fours. I'm going to switch sides. Tucking those toes. Setting the hips up and back. Down dog. Inhaling that left leg high. Open that hip. Square up the hips, step it through, coming into that high lunge. Here's where we sweep back. So as we sweep back, this front leg, this left leg lengthens. We sweep over, inhale up, high lunge. Exhale, sweep. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale, sweep. Inhale up. Good. Exhale to the mat. Both hands on the inside. Spin that left heel down to the mat. Open up, side angle. And exhale. Both hands to the mat. Plank. Down to those forearms. Hold this hover plank. And release the body to the mat. Sphinx pose here. This is a back bend all in itself. This is a good back bend. Good. Bring those hands to the chest. Baby cobra. Maybe a little more. Maybe full cobra. Down to the mat. Tucking those toes, coming up into plank, sending the hips up and back, down dog. Forward to plank, tummy all the way down to the mat. Taking those arms behind, maybe the legs come off. Shalabhasana or locust pose. Bring the arms forward. Hands by the chest. Cobra. Chest back down to the mat. Tuck those toes. Plank to down dog. Resting here, coming into that down dog. And just maybe taking a few heel toes. Looking front, stepping or hopping. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees around the spine. Come on up, reach. Exhale, hands down. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, down dog. Inhaling that left leg high. Exhale, take it through. Back heel comes down to the mat. Inhale up, warrior one. Reaching behind, clasping hands behind the back, opening the chest, and folding forward. Humble. The target is for that shoulder to be kind of right in line with the knee, but it doesn't have to be, of course. Inhale up, warrior two. Hitting that strong warrior on this side. And cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank and flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling left leg high. Exhale, take it through. Bring the other leg through too. Come on up into chair. Inhale, stand. Exhale, hands down by the sides. Let's bring the hands to heart center. Figure four this side. So hitting this figure four stretch, we'll take those peace fingers, wrapping around the big toe of the left foot. Bringing the leg, whoa. Again, this flooring, it's a good excuse, right? Bringing the toe out to the side, the leg out to the side, and right into tree. I wish I could do this better for you today. Right into tree. So sorry. And exhaling, bring that knee forward, taking that foot back, high lunge. Good, sit forward, back with that other foot and open up into warrior two. Straightening this front leg out, reaching forward, triangle. Again, shoulders are stacked, gaze is wherever it is. Maybe up at the ceiling, maybe out in front. Maybe at you. Good. And hitting this low lunge. Low lunge, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank and flow through your vinyasa this way. Or just simply go to down dog. Get creative how you get there. If a vinyasa is beneficial for you today, go ahead and do it. Make any modifications that you need. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step it through, high lunge. Open warrior two. Inhale, sweep back to high lunge. We're going to bring those hands right by heart center. Come forward up to those tippy toes and forward to warrior three. My legs working so hard to balance on this squishy carpet. Yeah, opening back up, warrior two. Taking a side angle, or again, coming all the way forward into your half moon. Back to warrior two. Hold that warrior two and cartwheel the hands down to the mat, stepping back to plank. And knees to the mat, either together or wide. Stretch back to child's pose. Beautiful. Walking hands over to the right. Let's get a little side stretch with that left body, left side body. And through center, over to the left. And back to center. Good. Coming on up to all fours. I'm going to bring this right foot through. Coming up either to the knee, maybe the fingertips are on the mat, maybe they're up to the knee, and we're going to stretch forward. Anjaneyasana. I'm going to have a stretch back to runner stretch, placing those fingertips on the mat. Stretch back, flex the foot, and now rotate the foot toward the left. Rotate it out a little to the right. Rotate it over to the left. To the right. To the left and hold. And then coming back into Anjaneyasana. Sweep the arms up. As the hands come down, they come down on the inside of that left foot. Tuck those back toes coming up off of that knee. And then now sweep the right arm up. Twist and hold. Knee back down to the mat. Twist. And if it works, if it's available, picking up that back foot. Little twist there. Good. Gently placing that foot back on the mat. Kickstand it out to the side. Take that hand to the mat and open up to this side. So I'm sorry my back is to you. Taking a little twist to the other side. Back to all fours. And the other side. Bring this left foot through. Anjaneyasana. Again, wherever those hands are, it's fine. You just want some stretch here through this right front hip, the flexors. Coming back to runner stretch. Those spider fingers on the floor. And rotating the left foot in slightly to the right. Out to the left. Over to the right. Over to the left. And over to the right, and just hold it there. Sweeping back up into Anjaneyasana. Maybe this time the arms do go high. And as the hands come down inside of that left foot. This time planting that right hand, sending the left arm high for a twist. and coming up, twisting. Again, I'm sorry, I'm facing the opposite way, but twisting toward the left. Maybe if that right foot is available, bring it up off the mat. Grasping that foot, twisting. And releasing. Taking that, kickstanding that foot out to the other side, opening up now to this side. And we'll actually open the chest up even more, like taking that right hand toward the back. And coming back to all fours. Stretching back. Child's pose, extended child's pose, reaching forward. And forward, then down on one knee, swing those legs around. Coming to the back, hold behind the knee, come on down. Knees into the chest. Hug the knees into the chest. Take the feet to the floor. So we're going to do a bridge here. I give you the option too for wheel, for full wheel, if that's something that is in your practice that you enjoy doing. We're going to do 2 bridges. So the first, we're just bringing those feet in kind of a little close to the buttocks and bringing the hips up off the mat. I'll set you up for wheel. If you're a person that likes wheel, we'll get set up for that. So I'll give you the option. We're going to come down to the mat. The second bridge, should you not be doing wheel, the second bridge, I'll have you bring your hands underneath, roll your shoulders, and lift your hips as high as you can, squeezing those glutes and just holding there. If you're setting up for wheel, bring those hands up like you're stamping there, high-fiving the ceiling. Bring them back to the back by your ears, and then pressing up to a wheel. I'm going to come out of it now, but go stay as long as you would like in that wheel position. If you're in bridge with those arms under, again, keep those hips high. And everybody come down. If you're coming out of that wheel, make sure you take the chin to the chest to flatten out the back of the head on the mat. Bring the knees in to the chest, hug the knees. We'll take those legs up to the ceiling. And again, walk these hands up. Holding. It's almost like the laying down version of a forward fold. Bend the knees. We're going to do a supine twist. So we'll bring the right knee into the chest, lower, like lengthening out that left leg on the mat, taking that right knee across the body, that right arm is out to the side, and we're doing the final step here is that drishti, that gaze, could be over that right shoulder. And back to center. Switch legs. Bring that left leg in. Hug that knee. Right leg long on the mat. Take that right hand and gently guide the left knee across the body. Only going as far as that left shoulder can stay on the mat. And then again, picking up the head, maybe turning to look toward that left hand. Enjoying the stretch. These twists I like because they are good for digestion, good for de-stress, good for detoxing. Kind of bring out the internal organs. They're a great way to end practice. And back to center, hug both knees into the chest. Flatten out that lower back, flatten out the shoulders. Knees come slightly apart. Gonna take those legs together, those feet together, and lower them gently to the mat. Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, because we're reclined. Goal post the arms. And then slide those legs out, just ever so gently and slowly. Slide like that. I'm going off my mat, so I'm going to have to inch forward, slide until and slide the arms up until we're or leave the arms goal posted if this is hard on the shoulders, until you're in a full body stretch. Think about lengthening the spine, breathing space into each of the vertebrae. Exhaling and just releasing everything right prior to we get into our Shavasana. So bring the arms down by the sides. Maybe let the legs come out long on the mat. Let the feet turn out. Get into a comfortable position. If you have a bolster or a pillow or a blanket that you'd like to wrap and put under the knees, please do. Get warm. If you have a blanket that you like to cover up with and your room is a little bit chilly, get warm. Anything you can do to make yourself comfortable. Shavasana is a really important time in the practice. It's not only kind of our reward at the end of practice, but it's also a time that the central nervous system gets to process all of the movement that we just did. All of the wonderful stretching, bending, twisting, breathing, everything that we did, the central nervous system gets to process that and incorporate it. So that next time the muscle memory is there, our bodies recognize it. Oh, I did that. I know what that is. I know what Warrior 2 is. I've been in this pose before. Just let everything go. Maybe come back to your intention of how life is for you right now. Maybe different. I'm sure it's different. It is for everyone, and how you're dealing with that. Are you waking up every morning with the intention of just getting through the day? Or perhaps seeing how you can help someone else, how you can be an inspiration for someone else, and maybe how you can be a bright light in the world, the best version of yourself. As you exhale, releasing anything there that doesn't serve you right now. Letting everything go. You can stay here as long as you like in Shavasana. Stay here as long as you like in Shavasana. Knowing that anytime you want to return to your body, you start to wiggle fingers and toes. Bring awareness back to the body. When you're ready to get up, and be here as long as you want. Enjoy being here in this way with just you. When you're ready to get up, rolling over to one side or the other, bending the knees, and maybe using your arm as a pillow. This is obviously an invitation for my little dog to come up and say hi, and pressing up with your hands until you come back to a seated position. Settling yourself in like we did just 45 minutes ago. Feeling sort of at one now with your mat, right? You went through this work. You're at one with the mat, with the earth, with anyone else that maybe did yoga with you. And maybe it's just you and you on the mat. And that's a beautiful thing. Closing eyes if that's comfortable for you. Keeping the shoulders down and back. Inhaling, arms overhead. Joining the hands together, coming down through heart center. Bowing the head slightly. My thanks is to you today for all the work that you did with me, the beautiful yoga flow that we flowed through together, your presence here. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.